Hi, this is Ed. Welcome to the Outer Light channel again. Well, before I go on, I want to thank my patrons for your continued support over my channel and just really help to keep it going. Well, for some time, people have been talking about all the bots, on Reddit Conspiracy, of course. All the share blue attacks, probably on my accounts as well. There's no doubt about it, everywhere. I don't really talk about it this often because I've seen it for so many years. It's not just recent, but now it's really over the top. It's gotten to the stage now where there's so many of them and it's so organized that it's really halting the functionality of message boards like Reddit Conspiracy especially. For instance, in YouTube videos, of course, there's going to be people within sections, bots, etc. You see them even when they show up, not in regards to even debunking anything, but just showing up advertising, for instance, do you like online dating? The classics you used to see back in the days was that they would, obviously you could see them as, an engineered bot system that was repeat posting. But the difference is today, they've been engineered in order to sway thought. I just saw this on Reddit and I thought, why not make a video addressing all this? This was posted by the notorious Coyote the Coyote, who's always on Reddit doing great work here in the really wash of bots that have really hijacked the threads. For instance, the other day, and I'm going to go into this, apologize, just lay some groundwork here. It's just a shout out to Coyote the Coyote again there. But I've seen these rankings up when a Seth Rich story was breaking up to like 5,000 before the story had even broke. Okay, so it's like the number just jumps up to the amount of people that are suddenly on Reddit. If you don't know what this means 2,000 people are online. So an organic number is around about 1,000. But I've seen those numbers jump astronomically before the story broke to prepare for when the story broke all the shrill accounts would come. Now that doesn't explain the massive explosion in numbers suddenly before the story broke. So this tells us one interesting thing. And that's that there's always these active measures, of course, because these have been employed in all kinds of different things outside the internet. A big sway of protesters showing up that aren't actually part of the protest. Are there agent provocateurs or change thought, COINTELPRO dating back, or whatever the case. This is just a modern version of COINTELPRO. And it's gotten pretty lazy, as a matter of fact. Coyote the Coyote points out here, and I went through these accounts. So let's take a look at this, and this revolves around the breaking news, of course, from the mainstream media in regards to Seth Rich saying it's a hoax story. Okay, it was engineered by Fox News and Donald Trump, apparently, according to them, quoted there in the last. And then what happened was you had the reply from WikiLeaks later validating the official story with Seymour Hersh, leaked audio, and Rob Wheeler, etc., things like that. So remember, there was this huge story. It was everywhere. It was trending around Twitter. It was trending around, less than 24 hours ago. 12 hours ago, it was trending everywhere. Huge story. Seth Rich is fake. It was organized by Donald Trump and etc. Everywhere, on every mainstream media article. When I typed it in, I covered it in the last video. I touched on it there. So Twitter was really trending with this story. It was great. Twitter was like, yes, this is a real great story. Trend. As soon as the audio came out from WikiLeaks, as soon as the Seymour Hersh audio came out, suddenly Seth Rich was not trending anymore. Okay, obviously the fact that Jack over at Twitter will not verify Julian Assange's account is just evidence enough that Twitter itself is completely compromised. Well, as if it was ever compromised. My opinion is these companies, if they start in the startup phase of actually being integrated in with these intelligence operations to have control over them. So it wasn't really hijacked as much as it always was. You're only given the room to grow in the pot, so to speak, taken out of the pot as a startup and placed in the garden if you obey the laws, if you work with the right other plants there. So let's have a look at this. What am I talking about here? Well, Coyote the Coyote tweets this. This is the height of Seth Rich. We're going to look through these. So here we have a number of tweets as he posted here. I don't know if it's a male or a female, sorry, Peyote the Coyote, I just don't know. But here we have Carol Berry. White House pushed for fake news story about Seth Rich. Death to distract from Russia, claims new lawsuit. Gregory Dean. White House pushed for fake news story about Seth Rich to distract from Russia, claims new lawsuit. All of them are an exact match. All these so-called people. So, you know, what I do as a researcher, I go out there and take a little bit of a look, you know, into this. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look at the first one, Carol Berry. So you see here Carol Berry, 7 new tweets. The latest tweet 20 minutes ago, and they've got 7 new tweets from that. Resurgence. Drives and 5 runs for Angels, Orange County Register. King Country 217 primaries. Seattle mayoral race. So I'll go into what this means in a bit, but let's have a look back here. So these are Carol Berry here, and you see Harold Dunn. Just 2 examples, and I've checked all of these. So here we have Harold Dunn down here, and you have Carol Berry up there. You can see even their latest tweets, 20 minutes ago, 21 minutes ago, and it's the Orange County. Orange County. The next one down is the primary results. Again, if you take Carol Berry, it's the primary results. You go to Harold Dunn, it's the brackets revealed. Carol Berry, brackets revealed. Okay. So then if we jump, so that's Carol Berry, that's Harold Dunn down here. You can check a few others. There's slight deviations probably in the algorithm of the reposting, but they're not real accounts. Let's have a look at another one here. I got Patsy Carlson. So here's Patsy Carlson again. Slight deviation here. You can say Resurgent, drives and 5 runs for Angels, Orange County Register. You go up here, you can see the exact same tweet. King Country, primary results. So why are they tweeting this? Well, obviously they're not real. It's an algorithm that's on a bot farm. If you don't know what a click farm is, it's equivalent to this. Just numerous cell phones that are used to click on articles, but in this case they're probably just loaded with Twitter accounts. You're literally doing with thousands upon thousands of wired-in phones that have bot running on them. And in this case, these bots are targeted towards mostly political things. Why is that? Well, for the most part, that's what they want to attract or they want to influence. So when Peyote the Coyote typed in the Seth Rich, he got all of this. Just typing in Seth Rich above there. So just typing in Seth Rich and got all of these. So they're used in order to create fake realities. So this is the reality people think is being talked about. But the sophistication level, okay, this tells us a number of different things. The sophistication level on these isn't enough to warrant human intervention behind it. Because the most dynamic types of shrill accounts are actually human driven, where they can argue and change things and do all kinds of stuff. That they exist. They exist via aged accounts, as you see on Reddit. They get bought off. You've seen the Reddit moderators even talking about this in videos. So this shows a certain level of sophistication is probably not warrants a human intervention here. So it tells us that this is probably operated at an industrial scale in order to reflect Twitter trends. So it's there to reflect a trend. If you've got like thousands upon thousands of these accounts with differentials in there in regards to language, then they all start suddenly. Usually for the most part, they operate within a kind of mist around them. They'll talk about all kinds of different things in different spectrums. But then when the time comes, they'll all talk about Seth Rich. That will enable you to keep something trending or artificially trending when there isn't really any value to it. I mean, if you look into the story as projected by the mainstream media about collusion or whatever, it doesn't really seem to reflect even Rob Wheeler's narrative. Yes, he was a Fox contributor. Yes, they worked on a story. Okay, there was a story being worked on. Yes, he was misquoted. But I mean, that doesn't really, how does that warrant complete drowning within the mainstream media of just covering that story? It doesn't make any sense. There's not really a lot to the story. So there you have just pure evidence of a bot. Bots working repeatedly. Different people apparently with different photographs and different resolutions. Okay, probably stock photos. Just really, that's what it is. All repeating the same thing, and we've seen it here. Just in these two examples as a sample, let's say, I checked a couple others. This one has a different kind of arrangement. The account doesn't seem to exist now. So, that is what it is. It's just an example there of how the bot accounts work. Okay, they're all just repeating the same information. I mean, if we can come down here to bracket revealed, let's go down to here. Probably somewhere here, probably say bracket revealed. Yeah, bracket revealed 2017, bracket revealed 2000 and thing. And before that, with the Dark Tower in theaters, with the Dark Tower in theaters, with the Dark Tower in its theaters, Stephen King family, blah blah blah. So this is likely a hired place. You pay, and they affect trends within Twitter, and then obviously whoever paid them to affect the Seth Riching trend, which would have been a large scale outfit. I mean, it included Vanity Fair. Everyone wrote these articles all at the same time. Everyone put them out of looks like a non-story. Okay, and then Twitter was trending. And then as soon as WikiLeaks chimes in with Rod Wheeler audio, Seymour Hersh audio, which showed a connection between WikiLeaks and Seth Rich, suddenly, no, it's not trending anymore. Cut the trending. Make sure no one's talking about it right now. We don't want it trending. And this is what everyone's up against. It's a well-funded, orchestrated, massive campaign of unsavory behavior. So let's have a look at some of these comments here under Peyote the Coyote's Twitter there. And I bet there's probably some bots in this. I don't know who the bots are. It's far more complicated. But you see them out. But here are some anyway, for what it's worth. First name, last name, number was the setup for the botnet someone was testing on Reddit like a year ago. Exactly like their Twitter handle is. Patsy Carlson. Blueberry 25, Carlson 25, Dean 25. So it's probably like a program you type in there. It just really seems like it. Very constructed, very constructed. And the sad thing about this is Reddit conspiracies is completely swamped by these individuals now. I mean, you get a story that's pro Hillary Clinton getting right to the top. Everyone in the whole entire thread is like 99% anti-Hillary Clinton. How's that possible? Reddit never trends, on its front page with major stories that legit lend credibility to anything that's questionable to the consolidated power network. So just example of there, you can see it. I will put a link to Peyote the Coyote's tweet, Reddit post there on Reddit Conspiracy. It's got all the information there. You can just throw these names into Twitter. Don't even know if these accounts will be around tomorrow. They literally could be 24 hour, 1 week accounts. Carol Berry, of course, has only got 19 followers. So if we go to Carol Berry, before I go very quickly, you can see 19 followers there. I'm not sure I can log in to see who the followers are. No, you have to log in. So what are the latest tweets here from Carol? Okay, it's all political, dead shot, whatever. It's really trying to attract a political audience, but then when it's really about it's at the right time, you throw out the Seth Rich stuff and they all go bam, 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 Seth Rich, Seth Rich. I really think that's what it's about. I don't know. Look into it. You can understand one thing. Where there's multifaceted accounts like this, there's money behind it. There's a funding mechanism, and there's a reason why it exists. What is that reason? Well, go and do your own research, decide for yourselves. In my opinion, it's there to affect the psychosphere of the political spectrum in order to arrange narratives for influential people. In the meantime, this is Ed from The Outer Light. By the way, I think a lot of the anti-Trump stuff that gets to the top is the same methodology is used, or anti-WikiLeaks. Or, don't get me wrong, not WikiLeaks. Trump does things that people don't disagree with. The whole entire neo-left hates him. But it seems like always the most vicious comments and attacks on Donald Trump always reach the top of his comment section on the Twitter pages. The same as a lot of things sometimes about Julian Assange or WikiLeaks. They always call WikiLeaks Russians or whatever. Well, where do you think all this comes from? It comes from these individuals. You know, in my opinion, a lot of it does. In the meantime, though, this is Ed from the Light. Go into your own research, decide for yourselves. And until next time, I'll see you all later.